I know what it is to lose value for women, and I know what it is to find value for them again. I know what it is to not believe in marriage. And I know what it is to believe that, yes, man, marital bliss is a possibility. Like marriage is a God thing and a good thing. But you have to remove yourself from certain environments, from certain people, from certain places that cause you to lose value for these things that you should hold value over. So in this clip that I'm getting ready to show you, Cam Newton is speaking about his fear of marriage and, some things that contributed to that. And although this whole interview was great, shout out to Cam Newton for bringing in a powerful man of God, Jason Wilson. And shout out to Jason Wilson for navigating this interview with mastery and patience. It was a beautiful interview, man. But the part that stood out to me was this part when he was talking about his fear of marriage and probably some of the things that contributed to that. So I'm going to show you the clip, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to provide some insight on basically how I can understand where Cam is coming from, but I can also say that Cam doesn't have to stay there because I was in that same position before too. Watch this clip and I'll be back.
When I went to the NFL,
Let's go.
I saw a lot of married single men. You married? Bet. What a hoes at. But also,
Yeah.
if we keeping it a big buck,
Go ahead.
being the man that she's cheating on her man with shows you a different side of a woman.
Of some women.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't overgeneralize.
I'm
That's
not
the danger.
overgeneralizing because
So the truth of the matter is there are men and women that struggle in this area with relationships and marriage and having a positive perspective about monogamy and faithfulness and commitment and things in regard to relationships and marriage, right? But this is what we got to understand. We have to be mindful what we allow ourselves to be exposed to. Because once we've been exposed, we can't be unexposed. And when we allow ourselves to be put in certain situations, we can lose value for relationships, for marriage, for commitment. So there's an accountability piece here. Because yes, we can put ourselves in positions to see things that we shouldn't see and be exposed to experiences that God never intended for us. But we got to choose to keep doing it. And this is the way God gave it to me. He said, when you were exposed to those circumstances and those situations that caused you to look at women different, you weren't doing what I told you to do. You weren't being a man of God or attempting to be a man of God. You wasn't trying to live a life that pleased me. No, you were doing what you wanted to do that exposed you to some consequences that you had to grow out of and some perspectives that you had to change. But that was never what he intended for me or you. If I wanted to lose value for relationships and marriage right now, all I would have to do is put myself in certain situations that make me lose value for them, right? So there's an accountability piece here where we do have a choice in the matter, regardless of what we're exposed to, regardless of what people try to put in front of us. We choose to entertain certain experiences, right? Because at the end of the day, as I mentioned before, I know what it is to lose value for women, and I know what it is to find value for them again. I know what it is to not believe in marriage, and I know what it is to believe that, yes, man, marital bliss is a possibility. Like marriage is a God thing and a good thing. But you have to remove yourself from certain environments, from certain people, from certain places that cause you to lose value for these things that you should hold value over. Now, I don't know where you are with this. I don't know what your perspective is. I don't know where your values are. I don't know. But I do know that there are things that we can do to contribute to creating these value systems based off of the wrong type of exposure, right? We can come up with systems of belief and value that God never intended for us to operate in based off what we allow ourselves to be exposed to and to entertain. It's very important. So in conclusion, I know how we can get there, but I also know we don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay the same mentally, spiritually, or emotionally. At the end of the day, the same way God told me, we allowed ourselves to be exposed to situations and circumstances and ways that we saw women because of choices we made, not because God led us in those choices and decisions. And we have to hold ourselves accountable for that. And when I realized that I was the one and I had to hold myself accountable, it changed everything, man. Because at the end of the day, the same way you could be exposed to the wrong things, wrong experiences, and wrong environments, you can be exposed to the right experiences in the right environments in the right moments. Does that make sense? So, man, shout out to Cam Newton. Shout out to Jason Wilson for an amazing dialogue and interview. And it just provided that opportunity for me to speak on something that I definitely wanted to speak on. And shout out to you guys for watching this video, as well as subscribing and showing support along this journey. And slowly but surely, man, we moving into some bigger and better things. I'm happy with the progress, and I'm happy with the pace that God has me on right now, man. So listen, I love y'all. It's nothing you can do about it. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed night, whatever time you're watching this. Shalom.